fixing the face. There we go. My face needs a lot of fixing. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you guys can hear me over the sound of the creek that I'm standing over right now. I'm actually on like a footbridge on this creek. I've never really fished this creek except for one day. I fished just one spot after I was kind of hiking back through from another area, and I threw basically just a couple casts into a spot, caught a fish. But this is the creek where I actually broke my Recon. It's a 10-foot 5-weight Recon Orvis fly rod. It's definitely not the fly rod I brought in here to fish this creek. I just stopped at one spot because it looks so good. I had to throw a fly into it, which I caught a fish, and then I also broke my fly rod. Today I got a little different rod with me today. This is a St. Croix 8-foot 4-weight, definitely more meant for smaller creeks. And I've got about an 8-foot leader on it right now with just a single fly setup. I got a Parachute Adams on right now. I really think that should do well. If not, then I'll change it up. Maybe I'll add a second fly on it. But that's kind of the plan for today. The Parachute Adams is one of my favorite flies. It works great in many different situations. So that's what I got on for the time being. We're going to see what today's like. The water in this creek is actually, it's flowing pretty high, flowing pretty fast. Definitely, I want to say faster and higher than it was when I broke that fly rod in here. Due to some really heavy thunderstorms and whatnot that have come through this region within the last month, this water is definitely higher, which is good. You know, need to get more water in the lakes and reservoirs and the rivers, streams, and creeks. So I'm not complaining, but it's definitely higher, and wasn't expecting to see it like this. So we're gonna see what this creek does and what it yields. Hopefully these fish are still active and hungry, and I'll be fishing kind of spots and kind of pocket water areas. So thanks for tuning in. Definitely appreciate it. Throw that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and turn on that notification bell. Otherwise, sit on back and enjoy. All right, well, I'm gonna head on down the creek a ways, but I want to stop right here and throw a fly in first. This is actually right where I broke my fly rod. I slipped on some mud in here. Luckily I didn't eat shit, but during that whole process, you know, me saving myself, somehow I broke the fly rod. I will be kind of bushwhacking on through. It's definitely pretty thick, and looking for areas like this. Hopefully I find some more spots like this, but if not, you know, I may only fish here a couple hours or so. We're gonna see how this creek plays out, and then I'll go fish a larger river and possibly another creek at kind of in the late afternoon. So it could be definitely this creek and a bigger river, and maybe even another creek. So time to just kind of throw a fly into here. I'll throw it in the softer stuff. Well, time to move on already. Over and under. It's another day of over and under stuff. Really thick. Gotta be careful where I put my feet. Probably should have left my net in my truck. but I didn't. Over. Around. There's a nice pocket right up above me over here. I want to head down at least a couple hundred yards, or maybe a few hundred yards. We'll see. I'm battling this stuff though already. There's definitely no good trail. There's absolutely no trail. I just gotta, I'll just be moving kind of slow through here. And then I'll be working the creek and kind of walking through, or the edge of the creek, and it should be easier coming back up. Big down tree. I'm gonna have to cross or something here. Getting caught up on everything already. Thick tangled mess of trees and everything else. Well, we'll see what this creek brings. Another pretty spot there. I like to try and not spook fish. Just bring my rod. I hate walking on logs. But in a spot like this, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. Alright, well that's a game plan. Me just kind of walking on downstream a little ways. I'm looking down on the creek. It bends around this big rock outcropping. And this is where I kind of second guess some of the things I do sometimes. Especially on a water where it really drops down in elevation pretty quick. So it's picking up speed, the water. And the water's just high right now. Higher than normally would be due to heavy rains. When I see spots like that, it's like, man, you know, I bet nobody fishes this. So I think I've gone down as far as I want to. There's only maybe a couple hundred yards or so, 200 to 300 yards from that footbridge I was standing on. It's like some sort of game trail right down here. I don't think people will hike down this. There's another spot there, and I think I'm just going to start here and just kind of work on up, bushwhack my way all the way up, or walk in the creek as much as possible. And see what happens. Even if I just catch a couple fish in here, I'll be happy for today, due to how swift the water's moving, etc. So we'll see what happens. There's still some nice pockets and whatnot. So see what happens here in a minute. Flip it. Come on, fish. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was a nice fish. Shit. Damn it. At least I had a hook up in here today. And that was a decent fish for this small creek. I'm sure it was a brown trout. It slowly came up for that. I watched him. Would have liked to have landed it. At least I totally haven't gone skunked yet. Or now. It's unfortunate, couldn't land it. I like to think there should be one sitting right over in there. Small fish. Another, I think that was another strike. There we go. Oh, it's a cutthroat. Oh no. Get the line. Oh, it's a brook trout. There we go. At least I didn't get skunked. Pretty little brook trout in here. I didn't really know there was brook trout in here. I came up for it. Thought I might get skunked in here. I almost didn't land that fish either. Jeez. That works. Oh. That's no bueno. That is no bueno. Can I get him? Little brown trout. See ya. I got one more spot I'd like to try and get into. It looks like there should be a decent hole. There's a rock over in there where the water, the creek splits around. I'm gonna have to kind of almost crawl through this. The things I do to catch fish sometimes, I swear. Oh my, what's a rod caught on? So it is good to have a little smaller rod for this type of stuff. A 7-foot rod would work really good too in here. Any good raspberries? No. Not ripe. No, this is it. I thought it'd have been better in here. Try and just kind of do that. Maybe right behind the rock. Super small fish hit it. Just landed 2 fish. Had a really decent brown trout on in here. You know, for this type of creek. It's probably I'm guessing at least 12-inch brown trout. Caught one other brown trout that's probably 8 or 9 inches. And then caught that brook trout. So at least I didn't get skunked in here. But the water is definitely higher. And this is no easy creek to fish by any means. And I don't shy away from, you know, fishing tough creeks, but this is one of the tougher ones. And man, one day I'll be back here when the water's a little bit slower, not moving so fast. I think it'll be a little easier and fish will be more active or something, but hey, at least I didn't get skunked. If you like the video, definitely throw a thumbs up and subscribe. Be much appreciated. Otherwise, I'm out of this creek. I'm gonna go fish a bigger river now.